Greetings. Would you like to learn how to carve runes into a piece of wood or metal that you can either wear around or put in your pocket as a protective amulet? Awesome. So this is a modern interpretation. So as you can see, I'm not actually doing my typical video format. I'm not doing fancy editing. I'm not going to put my intro in. I'm not going to mess around with the mic or sound quality. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to write the runes or carve them, because you would basically be carving them into a material of your choosing to wear around or carry with you. I just want to point a few things out. I am not a scholar. I'm self-taught. Icelandic is not my first language, and I'm actually not very fluent in it. And again, this is just my opinion and one way of doing it based upon my research. So if you look at historically speaking, a lot of people have a tendency to use the Elder Futhark. Elder Futhark is actually Proto-Germanic. So if you want to use the Elder Futhark, that's fine. But if you're interested in stuff from Scandinavia and the Viking era, that's not going to be from the Viking era itself. In fact, a lot of the things that people use today say, oh, I'm reading the runes and I'm doing divination, that actually comes from the 16th century from the Norwegian and Icelandic rune poems. You can actually see the actual meanings of those in Old Icelandic written in that manuscript. I can share that in a future video. I think I've shared it in the past. But this one specifically, I'm just going to take this, translate it in Icelandic, and then I'm going to translate that into Younger Futhark. Now, I want to point out something with Younger Futhark. First and foremost, there's not going to be a one-to-one letter comparison. So there are going to be some letters that are not going to necessarily match up exactly based upon how some people translate them. So keep that in mind. The other thing is there's different versions of Younger Futhark. So for example, the Danish use the long branch system, whereas the Norwegians and Swedish use the short branch system, which Norway was one of the first places to settle Iceland, so most of the people in Iceland have Norwegian roots. So that's why I'm going to stick with that branch. So this particular thing I wrote out here, just something nice and simple. May Thor protect the wielder with his hammer. Pretty straightforward. And if you look at examples of people who had actually wear amulets or carry amulets, you have like the Kin amulet, which kind of calls out to May Thor protect Bove, I believe his name was, with his hammer. So it's along the same lines of what we're going for here. And you can supplement hammer from Mjolnir, or if you prefer something else, you can go with whatever you want. But anyway, in this particular case, so in Icelandic, we would probably say something like Megi Þór vernda hamri sínum. So that's kind of roughly the translation there. So if we go Megi, right? And then it's supposed to be a capital. Thor. Vernda. Myth. Hamri. Sínum. Which, because it's his hammer. So ownership of the hammer. And then basically, if we were going to do this in, like I said, Younger Futhark short branch system. So we'd start with Megi here, right? So you're basically going to do kind of like a dot, and then you're going to do line straight down, almost like you're starting a stick man. Then you're going to do a straight line down, and then you're going to do a diagonal slash to the left going down in the middle. Then you're going to do a straight line with almost looks like a U at the top, and then a straight line down. So there's your Megi. Now for Thor, you're going to do a straight line down. You can do this as a slight hump like this, or you can make it more pointed if you wanted to. If you wanted to do it like this, you could do it like that as well if it's easier to carve. But it's the same rune. And then you're going to do a line straight down, and then you're going to do a slash down to the right. And there's two of them, and they're towards the center. So it's not at the top or the bottom, it's towards the center. Note that there's no O in Younger Futhark. So this is sometimes translated to Romanicized to basically like English, like an A, similar to an A. And then the R looks like an R. The rune, to me, it looks like an R. And then vernda, right? So then we're going to do a line straight down, and there's going to be two U's this time at the top, going over to the right. And then a line straight down, and again in the middle, kind of like it's this exact same one over here. So we're going to do it to the left, slightly down. And then we're going to do an R like that. And then we're going to do a line straight down, and this time it's going to go to the right slightly down, like that. And then you're going to do a line straight down, and at the top of the rune here, you're going to do a slight downward angle like that. And you're going to do a line straight down, and again to the right, like that. Now for meth, you're going to Again, little stick figure here because that's basically like the M. And then you're going to do a line straight down, slightly down to the left. You'll see some consistency because the way the letters are translated to runes, we're using the same ones throughout. So same with now this is kind of like a TH sound. So is this one. This is more like in the word the, where this is more like the TH in father. But they're very, very similar. They're both pronounced like a TH-ish. But they're still, the D here, it's gonna look like a D, like that. So down and then a slash at the top to the dropping down diagonal at the very tip. And then hamri, we're gonna do a line. This time, instead of the stick figure, it's gonna be in the center here. So you're gonna make like a little circle here in the center. Then you're gonna do a line straight down. You're gonna go to the right again, just like these. So over. And then you're going to do another M, which is, again looks like that stick figure. And then you have your R. I think you're getting the idea here. And a straight line for the I. And then here for sínum. So for the S, it's kind of like the I, but it's going to be not as long. So it's kind of like that. And then right next to it, the I, even though in Icelandic this I is pronounced different than this I. This one pronounces itself like E versus it. So hamri versus sínum, but it's still the same. It's a straight line because we don't have as many characters in Younger Futhark as we do in other language. Anyway, in our full alphabet in like English or even Icelandic, we don't have as many. So down for the N, down, and then down to the right. Now the U is interesting. It's a straight line down, and it's kind of like almost like a hump that drops off. So it's not two straight lines. It's a straight line, then it curves downward. And then the M, we've already seen that multiple times now throughout. So that's how you would go about writing that out in Younger Futhark short branch system. So this would be the Norwegian Swedish one, also be the one that I believed was used in Iceland as well. So if you're interested, you could carve that in runes into anything you want. Carry it in a pocket, wear it as a necklace, whatever. So anyway, thanks for watching. If you actually speak Icelandic fluently and you're not like me, that sort of understands basic conversational, then by all means correct my Icelandic. My pronunciation might be slightly off. If you know more about the runes, Younger Futhark, if you are a scholar, if this is not close, please seriously share your information, share your resources. Let me know in the comments. If you found this helpful at all or inspirational, I'll also leave that as well. So yep, I'll catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching.